welcome to the very special Film Thread Assemble Avengers Endgame event here on YouTube. Look, we had some technical issues. But let's get right to it because there might be three people watching. I am Chris Gore from Film Thread. I'm joined by
the Big Thorbowski.
Yes, the Big Thorbowski.
Yeah.
You should not. Hey, careful with that. We have all just seen Avengers Endgame. There were 20 of us in the group. Some of the people in the group have dropped off. So they're no longer with us at the moment, but there's a lot of people here that you cannot see in the background. We are going to discuss all things Avengers Endgame, starting with non-spoiler comments. Then we will get into spoiler comments, but you'll have plenty of warning for that. And then after that, we are going to rank every Marvel movie from number 1 through number 22. And we even have like a special, I wanted like some really fancy graphics. Wait, have it come up again, Will. I wanted some really fancy graphics, and managing editor of Film Thread, Alan Ng, his daughter created this, and I think it's awesome. We're going to use it. I don't know how many.
It'll serve its purpose.
I think it's very cute. I don't know how many of you that are on the live stream have actually seen Avengers Endgame. If you have not seen it yet, I recommend that in about like 15-20 minutes that you drop off this live stream. But let's get right to it. It's fresh in our minds. Anthony, you and I, this is our second time around.
Sir.
We did our non-spoiler podcast earlier. Any new thoughts come to mind after seeing it now a second time?
Well, no, because it would be spoilery. So,
well, yeah, all the things I want to talk about are spoilery. So I
caught some things on this viewing.
I did catch a few more things too, and I should say that we're in the heart of Hollywood. We had originally intended to be at the Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood, but there was a snafu. And there's a snafu. Not only that, there are planes that are on their way to us. I want to introduce Dante James. Just saw the film as well. Come over here, Dante.
Yep,
on the mic. I'm going to step away for a second. I want you to give your non-spoiler thoughts on Avengers Endgame.
Wow, okay, so non-spoilers. It was a great wrap-up to an amazing series. This was 10 years build up, and it completely pays off in every single way. I didn't know what to expect, and even the things I thought I knew, they completely went a different way with it. And yeah, without giving away spoilers, I just feel like I feel very satisfied. Like, we have to watch our language, but it's like, when you just take a really satisfying dump. Jesus. No, really though. It just feels like,
No, I know exactly what
you
you're
know what
saying.
I mean? Like
sweet relief.
It's just a sweet release. But no, I really
a satisfying conclusion.
Yes, a satisfying.
You feel like you're done.
I feel like I am done.
Not like you're going to be back in the bathroom in 5 minutes.
Now I can eat again. No, but really, it's amazing. My mind is still blown. So if I'm rambling, it's because I'm still trying to make sense of what I just saw. It was a amazing movie. Again, we're doing it live.
Well, let's continue the conversation. Alan Ng, I'd like to see you on the mic here. Step in. You have some family watching at the moment.
Yes, hopefully.
Well,
they will.
So,
they are.
One thing I do know is that your daughter, first of all, amazing contribution with the 1 through 22 sign.
It's beautiful.
And the thing I know, she's angry with you because she has seen the movie before you.
I have seen the movie before
You've seen the movie before she has. Yes. So, but can you give non-spoiler thoughts to your daughter who may or may not be watching?
Yeah, it's amazing. It goes everywhere you never would have thought it would have went, and it just proves that DC movies are really bad.
True. Well, look. So what were you anticipating? Did this satisfy your expectations? Yeah. It's been a build-up of, about a year, right? When Infinity War came out, and then Endgame. It's been this cliffhanger, like The Empire Strikes Back. We didn't have to wait 3 years, although only I remember that because I'm,
Yeah,
I saw that way back in the day. But But what are your thoughts on like 1 year later now seeing this?
Yeah, I mean, what's blowing my mind is the fact that everything I thought that might happen just didn't happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, without spoiling, I can't say a whole lot.
This is the one thing that's difficult about this movie. I actually think it's very difficult to speak about Avengers Endgame without talking about spoilers.
I mean, I could just mention Ant-Man. I mean,
Yes, you can mention Ant-Man.
I can mention it, and what I thought would happen didn't happen. I could talk about.
You're talking about like going up.
Yeah, going in there and doing that thing, and
Yeah, that did not happen.
That's called
Yeah.
the Tin Hat
Colonoscopy.
Suppository.
yeah, he didn't go up there. He didn't grow large, and then defeat and in the movie at that point.
All right, William Howell. Let's bring William Howell on. William Howell, my friend for when did you and I like first meet? Something like the early '90s.
Early 90s when Film Threat was originally print media, so
Yes.
yeah.
Print media. Back in the day.
Back in the old the building on Wilshire.
Oh my God! Yeah.
that was
That.
what-
Well, here, look. The camera's right here.
Oh,
so
yeah,
this is
that's
right.
me.
But okay. But I know you're used to radio.
I'm still doing it.
I know. This is amazing. You're an old school radio dude. Like still doing radio.
Still doing radio for KNEC.com, which is obviously hard rock and heavy metal. But I always like to interject a lot of horror and comic book and films into my conversations on air.
But radio was sort of a precursor to podcasts.
This is true.
If you will.
This is true.
So, and now I know, I mean, we've been to so many San Diego Comic-Cons together.
Many.
Spent time there. And we've had many nerdy conversations. How did this fulfill your expectations? How did it, without spoiling?
As I'm still processing what we all just saw, I'm proud of myself that I stayed away from a lot of the social media theories and things that were pointed out. Some people got access to the film and try to spoil it in social media, so I didn't buy into that. Overall, the film, it checked all the boxes. There are some things that I will have to re-see again that I felt that, what did I miss? There were some big laughs in this. So a lot of big laughs.
I actually think it may be funnier than Infinity War.
Yes, and I will say this, everyone talking about the length of the film, it flies by. Because every character gets their arc, they have a finality, for the most part, to there's a lot of throwback, there's a lot of callbacks, pretty much to the first Iron Man film, to the last film, Captain Marvel, and of course, Infinity War to that. So I will say every character has a callback and has a fulfilling, for the most part, without giving the several things away, a fulfilling, not end, but a wrap-up.
A wrap up to this sort of era.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you know what it is? It's sort of like, you're a longtime comic book reader,
Yes.
as am I.
Yeah.
It's sort of like when someone does a run, right? Like Kirby and Lee, the first 100 issues of the Fantastic Four.
Or the John Byrne run with
John Byrne
and Chris Claremont.
Yes, Chris Claremont took over the X-Men. It was very, but no, it is. It's sort of like when someone does a run and then another team takes over and sort of is a different direction, maybe a different tone, and then you maybe you're sort of, that's not so great then, and then you begin to love it. Then you're like, oh my God, I really love this.
Yeah, a lot of it is just there.
Like the Jim Shooter run. Forget it. Okay, forget that. It's a little Jim Shooter reference, but it's
the artist,
to
the
nerds.
editor, and the artist, the editor, and the writer's direction, their POV of what they want to do with the characters. Like I'll just reference one of my favorites, Black Panther. The entire run of Christopher Priest during Marvel Knights into the last series, amazing. And then when it went into the crew and all that, I was just like, I tapped out.
Right,
And then I just
right.
I'm done.
Black Panther, that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, debuted in an issue of the Fantastic Four.
Yes,
It was created by Stan Lee
yes, Jack Kirby.
and Jack Kirby. Yeah.
King Kirby.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
First known as a cold tiger, but that's a very deep reference if anyone ever
Oh wow! Oh, well,
Yes.
I hope someone who's watching
Yes.
gets
Overall, I will say that seeing all the characters, and there were some surprises that I did not see.
some surprises.
Yeah, I'm being modest. But there are some big wow moments, some big shocking moments, and you'll have to just realize that every character from the first film to the last one will get their just due, but in some characters in ways that you may not think. And boy, I am really bursting at the seams because I'm still processing that 3-hour film that flew by.
Well, we have to get into the spoiler conversation. Before we do, a couple other people I want to bring on. Bobby Schwartz.
Hey. Bobby.
Let's give big hand for Bobby, who did
Bobby.
the Topless Avengers video.
Well done, by the way.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Your non-spoiler comments. Let's keep it going with non-spoiler comments, and we will get to spoiler comments very soon. And that's when we can have a real conversation.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm also bursting at the seams to get to the nitty gritty of it because there was so much.
Well, that's the thing is, like, how do you talk about it without, like, saying, like I really hope that, like, a lot of people that are actually watching this, and by a lot, like, for the 5 people that may be watching this, I don't know, that you've already seen the movie. Because there's too much to discuss.
Yeah.
But, and I love your shirt, by the way. We all,
thank
like,
you.
everybody came with, like, a Marvel-related shirt.
Fun fact, I wore this to the premiere or the opening night of Iron Man. So this is an 11-year-old shirt, and I still fit in it. And, but that was a time when I feel like maybe I was the only person in my town who was even aware of the character. And now I feel like, you know, kids know more Avengers than they know presidents, you know? So, like, just in terms of how much the audience has vested in
Right.
the potential closure they could receive from a movie like this is insane. And I feel like this movie stepped the landing. Without getting into spoilers, I was incredibly satisfied. I feel like I received a lot of closure with stuff, like just in terms of, you know.
Wait, but did you cry?
Alan was holding me for most of the film, and
Yeah,
I don't know where I'd be without his carrying arms. But.
Yeah, a lot, like the whole row where we were sitting. Dante, you were sitting down from me. It's like I heard like sniffling. I'm like, okay, good. If I cry, that means that like I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
I want to bring Walter on camera, but he's working. He's working.
He is the camera.
He is the camera right now to offer his thoughts.
Here you go, sir.
Yeah.
We'll just tag in here.
Yeah, tag in.
So,
we're talking non-spoilers. Yeah.
So I kind of come from the same background as
Ready,
Bobby,
take
where
credit.
not a whole lot of people knew about the Avengers when I was growing up, and I was not a comic book guy. I saw the Avengers in video games and the cartoons that were on TV. So I saw the X-Men cartoons, and that blew me away. And then I would play Captain America and the Avengers on my Genesis and at the arcade. So it was really sweet.
Sega boys?
And so it was really awesome to get to see them on the big screen and see all these amazing abilities that these characters have in an actual Hollywood movie, and then have people around me know what the hell I'm talking about now.
Right. Yeah, now it's weird. Like Marvel's kind of ubiquitous,
Right.
And I do believe that Marvel has a lot of female fans because now I think it's women don't feel shame about coming out saying I'm into nerdy stuff too,
Right.
And I think that I also think that frankly the Marvel movies that have been mostly male centric. They take their shirts off a lot. What?
Well,
It's true. It's
true.
like they, and we know this because there are videos on. If you look up shirtless Avengers just on YouTube, just randomly, if you use those keywords, topless Avengers.
TOPLESS.
Wait, you say, Mark?
Topless Avengers. TOPLESS.
Topless.
Specify male.
Yeah, male. Yeah, exactly, male. So no, but I think that look, just in the same for the same reason that every time I play a video game, I always choose a female character.
Okay.
Always, and was mocked for doing that for years. Why? Because I want to watch a female. I want to watch a woman.
You're saying you played Tomb Raider a lot.
I played Tomb Raider. But even in fighting games, I'm a Chun-Li guy.
Okay.
What can I say? So I understand that. I feel like that Marvel movies became popular with they're not just male fans.
No,
right?
no.
It's really opened things up in an amazing way.
It's cool to be a Marvel fan, is what you're saying.
Well, yes, now it is. I wasn't when I was a kid. It was cool to be called a nerd, or I was called many times, 10 million times probably in high school, FAG.
Right.
I'm spelling it out. I'm not going to say the word.
Sure.
Might offend some viewers. I know that Alan's daughter might be on the live stream watching this. But let's bring in. Yes, hopefully. Yes. Well, Kevin Rubio, if you want to step in and give your non-spoiler thoughts, we will be pivoting to spoiler very shortly. And Megan, you're coming on too.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going? Kevin Rubio, many of you may know him from many things, actually. From Troops, probably the most infamous, I say infamous, fan film ever made, premiered at San Diego Comic-Con. Also comic book writer, filmmaker, writer.
Wrote on Avengers Assemble, the cartoon show.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, big round of applause, everybody, come on.
I did the Fing Fang Foom episode.
Sweet. So now you have been on this journey because
Yes,
I see you whenever we go to the theater for these things. It's always like, oh, you bought tickets too, and it's all the same people.
Oh, yeah.
So what are your non-spoiler thoughts?
Chris, I gotta tell you, it's such a coincidence. It's 50 years since we landed a man on the moon, and I think that this is probably only second to that achievement by man.
Wow. Well, yeah. Also, it's like a good finale, right?
It was. Hats off to Marcus and McFeely, the writers, who did not only this but Infinity War and Captain America: First Avenger and Captain America: Winter Soldier, and there's like 2 other ones. It's great. The Russo brothers did great. An incredibly emotionally satisfying ending. Truly, a nice wrap up. And I was talking with somebody else that this is for spectacle. This is really going to be hard to top.
I don't know what is in store for Phase 4.
Yeah.
I am hoping it is the Fantastic Four. Just because I've been wanting to see a good Fantastic Four movie, since I was a fan when I was a kid. I do think Asgard is. I can't say anything.
No, you can't.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to blah blah blah. Forget what I said. I feel like that the universe will go in different directions that are going to be really cool. We thought we'd never see.
And surprising.
Yeah. But like you mentioned, the writers, everything paid off. And there wasn't a wasted moment for every character had their moment. And there's stuff at the end that
and to reiterate what people have said, it flew by.
Yeah.
I mean, don't drink anything before. But yeah, the pacing was incredible. They serviced every character. I think for me personally, gave me a satisfying conclusion. It's just things I thought would happen didn't, and things I didn't think would happen did, and I was pleasantly surprised by all of it.
Well, I was as well, and I thank you.
Absolutely.
Stick around. We're going to talk spoiler stuff very soon. Megan, come on in. Anthony, Megan, both of you, come on. You should introduce Megan. Big round of applause for Megan, who's been on one of our most downloaded episodes of the Film Threat podcast. Megan was on the episode where you talked about Jurassic World 2.
Yes.
It's one of the most downloaded episodes of the Film Threat
Really?
podcast.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, look
You
at the
never told
numbers.
me.
Look at the numbers.
He told us that at LA Comic-Con.
Yeah. That's a true thing.
I don't really
So,
pay attention.
Megan, wait, how are you related?
We're not
Anthony?
related at all.
Well, you're not
We've been
related,
together.
but I mean, you guys are.
We're a couple.
You're a couple.
We've been together.
Wait, hold the mic. He'll tell you.
Yeah, we can hear. We just heard it on the.
Oh,
our
you
phone.
did? Oh my God. Okay, cool. So, Megan, you've been on the podcast.
Yep.
You are also a nerdy fan.
Yep.
You are married to.
I'm not
Whoa,
married.
whoa, whoa.
Wait,
Whoa, stop.
Wait, no,
the
not
clock.
married.
Whoa.
Future? No. You are. What? No. Wait. Okay.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. You guys are together.
Yes.
You're together.
Yes, we live together.
You are together with a.
We co-parent
with
cats and we
honors.
live together.
That's exactly right. That's what I meant to say. That's what I
We
meant to
co-parent
say.
cats.
Oh my
We
God.
live together. We've been together for almost 5 years.
I think of you as a married couple. I'm sorry. If you're the comic book version of you, in my mind, you're married. But what?
I don't even know what to say to that.
But in any case, so what are your thoughts? I know that there's a moment that you teared up. Oh my God, we can't even actually talk about
Not
that.
until later. But
Darn it! There's a moment you teared up. Was not an expected moment.
It was not an unexpected moment. I started crying. He made a joke. We'll talk about that joke later. And I beat him during that scene too.
She literally hit me, grabbed my glasses. We saw it in 3D, and she threw the glasses in my lap.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Can you just repeat it for us, like
No,
live
it's-
on the
it's-
live
it's a
stream?
spoiler.
It's a
Spoiler.
spoiler. So when
It's
we get to
spoiler.
that point,
No, I don't mean
in
the spoiler.
show-
This doing the stuff to Anthony.
Oh well, he
just
whispered
act it out.
He whispered a joke to me. I tried to undo his water bottle so I could dump it on him, and that was too difficult. So the next thing was the glasses through that, and I smacked him.
Wait, do that again.
What the heck?
No, I don't know.
Rude.
We'll get a slow-mo of that later.
Mark Atkinson.
Yes, sir.
Mark Atkinson.
How you doing?
Mark Atkinson, my friend, actor from San Diego, drove all the way up here.
I did.
To join us on this. It's either the greatest live stream ever on YouTube, or a train wreck. But
Why can't
you're
it be
here
both?
with. It can also be. It could be both. It could be. It could be.
The greatest train wreck ever.
Right.
Train wreck
so,
ever.
So what were your thoughts?
It was
Non-spoiler,
amazing.
non-spoiler.
Non-spoiler. 2 thumbs up for me. I laughed. I laughed again. I had an allergy attack, which some may say were tears. And I think I even peed my pants a little. Not because it was so suspenseful, because I had a big old thing of iced tea, and I didn't want to miss a minute of it. So, but it was awesome.
Wait, did anyone go to the bathroom during the movie? Like, if anyone here?
No, I
Only
made sure I did
my
not have
pants.
that
Okay,
problem. I
I-
went twice before the movie just to make sure I would not play with fate.
Okay, good. No one went to the. I went to the bathroom twice, and
Yeah.
I feel bad, but I went to the bathroom different times than the first time. I can't, and this is true. I was born with one kidney, and so I only have one kidney. My mutant superpower is I urinate 3 times more than the average person. So I use my powers for good.
Of all the superpowers to have.
It's a pretty lame one, but I almost never see a movie without going to the bathroom at least once, but I choose my going to the bathroom moments strategically. Very strategically. Hey, let's before we get into the you have one more comment?
Well, there's a segue
Please.
to that, because
Oh,
I was
good.
getting this thing and some popcorn for
Yes,
Alan,
yes.
and soda. But there was a guy in front of me who had told me that there's a Google website or whatever where it tells you where the best parts to urinate.
I didn't agree with those parts.
I didn't either.
I read what those
That's an
parts
app too.
were.
They have an app for that.
Yeah.
It's called Run P. I have the app.
Oh.
There's a
Not sponsored.
There's actually. First of all, there is a truck that is driving
That's
by.
not a
That is.
It's actually a hobo.
It's Iron Man.
Okay, so we're in the middle of Hollywood, folks. Anything can happen. There's gonna be helicopters here any minute. Whatever. I don't know. I love this area. I used to have an office around here. You remember the old Film Thread office on
Yes, I
Hollywood
do.
Boulevard, William Howell?
Yes.
So that was crazy way back in the day. And Bordner's was the place we used to hang out.
And the big anniversary party there, too.
Oh, yes, that's true. Oh my God. Okay.
Getting off
Okay.
track.
Setting that aside, so the urinating thing is something, but I have to strategically choose the moments to pee, which I think is really important. We're going to get into the spoiler stuff, but I want to say any non-spoiler comments and any comments online. Are people asking questions?
No.
Is it a
There
spoiler
are no
alert?
questions. Is anyone watching?
Yes.
Ooh.
How many?
They're just not curious.
Because while they're watching, I'm actually going to go pee and grab a beer.
It's
So
my
before
wife,
we
my
get-
kid, and Bobby.
So there are 3 people. Wait a sec, we're doing this for 3 people.
That means we can spoil anything.
All right. Here, someone else hop on the mic.
Is it a
Whatever.
spoiler alert if we talk about Hawkeye's hair?
No.
the faux
Actually, the hair in the movie is a thing to talk about.
So
I'll
are we
be right
officially
back.
in spoiler? Are we?
No. I'm gonna come back. I'll
Okay.
introduce this. I have an idea. I'll talk to you
Reese
about
needs to
it.
do his first end game, which is the toilet.
I just want to do the intro and then we'll get into spoiler stuff. But I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
All right.
I gotta run pee right now. But jump on if you want. Jump on. Final
is
non-spoiler
sponsored by
thoughts.
urine.
Final non-spoiler thoughts.
Go over the
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Start ranking?
Should we start ranking?
Start ranking.
Should we explain the rules of what we're doing? So we're ranking.
We're ranking.
All 22 movies.
All right, we're gonna rank all 22 movies. We have no plan on exactly how this is gonna happen.
I know it's 22.
But yeah, there's 22, including the Hulk. So in case we're wondering.
Wait, the Ang Lee one?
Oh wow!
So
Really?
maybe we should just So we are going. I think it would be good if we start from the bottom. So maybe some people should chime in as to what is the worst.
Dark World, Iron Man 3.
Thor 2, right? Yeah.
Okay, so we are talking Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 2,
3.
Iron Man 3. Sorry, Iron Man 3. I think
Man.
Hulk is in there too, or no?
No, come on. I love the Hulk. The Incredible Hulk is a decent movie.
The Ed Norton.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
The
yeah.
Incredible Hulk
Okay,
is fantastic.
All right, discuss for a moment, and I'll.
I'm gonna put my vote in, and I think
Go ahead,
I think it's controversial. I feel like I'm not gonna get the support here for it, but Age of Ultron.
Vetoed.
Let me say why.
That's fine.
Let me say why. I think it's worse than Iron Man 3 and what was the other one you guys said?
I said Dark World. Dark World.
I see. Okay, I
Hulk.
kind of like Dark World actually. It's
No,
worse
Walter, you're
because. So for me, if you haven't yet seen the shirtless compilation of every Avenger that we have on the YouTube channel, you should check it out. But in editing that,
TOPLESS.
Topless. Yeah. .com. Just if you, I had to subject myself to I experienced all the movies in a very quick amount of time, and in that succession, I felt that after watching Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron is like a step back tonally from where we get to in Winter Soldier. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys.
Because Ultron pulled a Warner Brothers, that's what happened.
Yes. Ultimately, Ultron is like, as much as I love the performance, for me, fighting that villain in the timeline, you know what it is? The biggest problem.
Who was the villain? I don't even remember.
James Spader. Robot James Spader.
Was he like a flamey guy with horns?
He's a robot.
No, I think that was Justice League. No, I feel like watching them in order. Once I got to Ultron, I realized that I felt like my memory had rewritten it, that it came a lot earlier in the timeline of these movies, and that
I don't even remember that one. It wasn't very memorable for me.
Okay.
That's the whole
just
point.
me. Yeah.
Here's the bigger reason. Nobody here jumped in to defend it, so you know it sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Good
that
point.
makes sense because then we would talk about spoilers.
Well, apparently we
he's
aren't
back.
ranking
Double
anymore.
fisting.
Okay.
Chris put the kibosh on that.
Here, that
spoilers.
is.
Okay, so
Those are spoilers for how we're gonna rank.
Now what we're gonna do is we are actually going to talk spoilers.
Thank
We're gonna talk
God.
about everything we saw, and for the purposes of the podcast, you can just delete all of this. For the live stream, that's just for them. But for the purpose of the podcast, we will start now. No, don't stop it. Don't
I'm
stop
not
it.
stopping it. I'm writing the time code.
Yeah, the time code is it's 4, 3, 2, 1. 44
Oh, you just start
minutes.
clapping.
44 minutes in. So I want everyone like a big round of applause, and then we're going to start a spoiler podcast. And this will actually be the podcast that you post tomorrow, but you can just delete the beginning
I understand.
part. And then so we'll do. We're talking full on spoilers now, and we're going to do that. What? Why are you guys laughing?
No, I on the live stream.
Oh, what? You're looking at the live stream? How is it like 7 seconds behind or something?
Pretty
No,
much.
it's good. Yeah. So spoiler town.
We're going to.
Choo choo.
Here's what we're doing. We're going to Spoiler Town.
Spoilers!
Spoilers.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Spoiler alert.
big round of applause. Welcome to the Film Threat Podcast. This is our spoiler edition of our collective review of Avengers Endgame. We have just gotten out of a screening of Avengers Endgame. I saw it with 20 of my closest friends who are here. We are not at Scum and Villainy Cantina, unfortunately. There was a little snafu. We're at a bar in Hollywood called the Elbow Room, and we're here to talk spoilers, Avengers Endgame, Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and all things Avengers! Film Threat Assemble! Welcome to the Film Threat Podcast. I am Chris Gore, joined as always by...
Anthony Ray Bench. How's it going?
It's going great.
I'm so excited I get to actually talk to people about this movie now.
Let's...
Yeah.
Yes,
This
because...
is the part I was waiting.
Yes, so let's talk about spoilers now. This is a spoiler podcast. If you're listening to the first 10
Spoiler
seconds of
alert.
this, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, we are talking spoilers.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, 10 years in the making, 22 movies total, leading to this moment. Is this a satisfying ending? And how do you feel about the ending?
You know, since we watched it on Tuesday, I've been kind of, scouring the internet to see what people's reactions are. And that word satisfying comes up so much. And I totally agree with it. It's satisfying. There's no loose threads. There's no hanging, questions that really matter. I mean, there's, some things that, could be more clear. But as far as concluding this epic 22 movie saga, they couldn't have done it better, in my opinion.
Well, there was one thing that you and I talked about coming out of the screening, actually, that I think we figured out as we were walking, is at the end of Captain Marvel, there's a scene where she comes in at the very end. It's the little, sort of button scene, right? It's sort of the pre-credits scene. She comes in and she's like, "Where's Fury?" Right? Because they've got the little mobile device. Yeah. And so the thought is that she came to Earth first, saw that, learned where Tony Stark may be, and then went to find him and brought him back to Earth, because it seemed as if when she brought Tony Stark back to Earth and saved his life, sort of floating in space with barely any air, that she that's how she got that information. So that was before that. It's like, the pager brought her there. She was debriefed by the Avengers. Like, okay, I know what I need to do. I need to go get that ship and bring it.
That could have been a little bit more clear, because honestly, I thought it was
specify the coordinates of how to get that. Show that Rocket knows how to get. Show that Rocket knows how to find.
Well, this is audio. So William Howell, my good friend William Howell, is joined. This is a big group of people. They're going to be jumping on the mic. So everyone will introduce themselves before they jump on. But please, William.
But just to piggyback what you're saying,
yes,
it should have been more clear about how she was able to locate the ship. Was there some type of code that Rocket had to locate the ship? Was there a beacon? Was there something that...
dude, she's Captain Marvel. She can do anything. So, and there are no obstacles.
Well,
the only thing I have like a quibble with is really almost anything Captain Marvel related. It's just sort of like, what? I'm sorry. I know. No, I'm serious. Like, here's the thing is that, look, Superman, talking about Christopher Reeve, Superman the original, he is all powerful, but he is flawed. He's humanized. I feel like she was never humanized, and I feel like she was done a disservice by the screenwriters more than anything. And a sort of, although I will say I like Captain Marvel in Endgame better than Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
It was a superior movie.
Dante James is here. Dante James, writer for Film
Everybody,
is also here. So getting into spoilers, like let's talk about. I mean, I think the big spoiler is Captain America no longer a virgin. At the very end,
to be fair,
it's he is not only an arc. I think it might be bent to the left. Who knows? All I know is that Captain America no longer a virgin.
He hooked up with Sharon Carter, dude.
Yes, exactly. And Alan Ng's daughter is watching and listening to all of this.
She doesn't
speak. But Dante, your thoughts too.
So anyway, again, keeping it PG.
I didn't.
I feel like there's too many moments in this film to even begin to start to pick it apart. I didn't have so much of an issue with the Captain Marvel thing, finding Tony Stark and Nebula in space, because I just figured, whatever. But I feel like since we are doing spoilers, just them going to fight Thanos right away. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Like, the film almost starts with them fighting Thanos for the second time.
So me and Chris have been kind of making bets back and forth for the last few months. I totally called that.
Okay.
I totally called that. Here's the
that
things I called, right? There was a clip online that was released where they talk about, they're tracking Thanos with the signature of the stones. He used it. As soon as they said that he used the stones a second time, I was like, he used it to destroy the stones. They're going to show up to fight him and to try to, snap everything back. And the stones aren't going to be there. That's going to be the conflict. That's going to be their roadblock in the way. and I made that prediction. I was right, knocked it out of the park. I am the Marvel
No,
prophet.
I mean, you called it, man. And another thing that threw me off right away was just, considering that this is produced by Disney, it was actually pretty violent for a quote-unquote Disney movie.
Thanos gets
decapitated.
And decapitated.
And, and by Thor, of course. And it was just, there were just so many moments in this film that I'm sure we're gonna dive into, but it's
dive. Don't wait.
It's
dive.
so
Get into
many
it.
moments in this film that warrants like its own podcast, really.
In fact, I brought a Thor pin with me. Can you see that?
I think the thing
That is absolutely.
I think the thing I was probably most surprised by with this movie though was not sexy Thor.
Yeah.
Dad bod Thor.
We were talking about when we came out of the
dude
screening.
abides.
No, when we came out of the screening, I said to Anthony, the question is not, will we see someone cosplaying as Dad bod Lebowski Thor? It's how many people will be cosplaying as Dad bod Lebowski Thor.
I'm growing out my beard now.
Dude, I am like, we should all do it, man. Like, I'm like, I can join in that.
It's really probably the most amazing part of the film was Lebowski Thor. I wish I had blonde hair and could grow a belly like that, but
Well, the interesting thing about the Dad bod Thor is the internet is so offended by Dad bod Thor. Yeah,
wait, men or women?
Both.
Dad
they think
bods.
it is body shaming because characters make jokes at his expense. Lighten up.
How do you not look at what he was? You know?
Just it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's and if you look at the characters that do make clips, it's the characters who are established to be very what's the word I'm looking for? Rude, kind of.
Quick-witted, sarcastic.
Yeah, crude, impolite.
Yeah.
Snarky.
Yes, perfect. Like, so yeah, it makes sense. Like,
yeah, and of course Tony Stark is going to make fun of him.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And Thor still kicked a lot of ass.
Yes, he did.
Sorry, kicked a lot of butt.
Right.
Hey, to be fair,
Speaking of
Tony
butt,
Stark
let's
said
talk
the
about
S word
America's
3 times.
butt.
That's when
America's butt.
I'm gonna pass it on to somebody else. He wants to talk about Captain America's butt. There you go, Bobby.
Bobby Schwartz.
If mainly,
on the mic.
Yes.
Wait, you gotta introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bobby Schwartz, and I also do approve of the Ass of America, Captain America. And if not, mainly because it was attached to like one of my favorite scenes, I think, in hindsight, looking back, the battle between Captain America and Captain America.
Yes.
Was one of my favorite moments, right?
Well, it's a moment we didn't see coming.
No,
again.
but it's like in terms of like the I think the Marvel franchise reaches peak comic bookiness in this movie.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
One, particularly Act 3 when like armies are fighting, but second to that, maybe just like someone fighting like a clone of himself or whatever. That's so comic booky, and it was really cool to see him fight himself in my least favorite Captain America costume.
So a big spoiler, and it shouldn't be for most people, but a big spoiler in this movie is time travel, which I think most people predicted was going to happen.
How else are you gonna fix it?
Yeah, and of course the time travel was brought into play because of our favorite character, Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Brought by our favorite actor, Paul Rudd.
And Paul Rudd, yeah.
Paul Rudd.
Killed it.
He absolutely killed it this time.
Yes.
I mean, he wasn't even in the last one, but he had some really important stuff to take care of.
Right.
Hey, to be fair, Tony Stark says that word 3 or 4 times in this
Yes,
movie.
he does.
His daughter says it.
Yeah, it's not PG at all. Yeah, his daughter says it too. Another spoiler. Well, we're in spoiler town. So he has a daughter.
Yeah, Tony has a daughter.
There's so much. I love Tony's family, and I had kind of a feeling. I mean, I was so wrapped up in the pace of the movie that I kind of forgot. But I did have kind of a feeling when we saw how perfect things were for him that like he's probably not going to. He's probably not going to make it.
Yeah.
But I guess we can talk about that like later because I mean that is the biggest spoiler.
I want to add.
Yeah.
I predicted that too. I set a one-on-one bet for who would die.
Also,
Dang it!
yeah.
Wait, how much do I owe you money?
There are three of you out there that owe me money because I also said that it was going to be Tony and not Cap. You know.
Well, I was gonna make
I
you
said
drink
it
like
was-
a nasty soda or something. We'll put it on YouTube.
All right, fine, I'll do it.
It's like vomit.
I always
flavored
will
or-
pay off a bet.
Yeah, especially because yours is like documented by a podcast.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll do it. Joining us also on the podcast, Kevin Rubio. Kevin Rubio, many of you know him from
Hello, Max.
Troops, from the fan film Troops, writer, filmmaker, comic book writer, cartoon writer. Kevin,
Yeah.
I've known you for years, seen you at Comic-Con, hung out with you. What are your... You can talk about anything now. We're in spoiler territory.
You know, I've been conditioned now for so long to not spoil stuff that I'm just I'm hesitant. But I gotta tell you.
I'll say that,
I'll
like,
spoil it.
yeah. Well, I'll say this: it's like most people are listening to this after the fact.
Okay.
So they've already seen.
I hope so.
Yes,
Because
for sure.
can we talk not only the ass of America, but the man who's worthy enough to wield the hammer.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That was one of the
That.
moments that the. Okay. How many like applause breaks were there where you're like?
I lost count at
Like 20.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
20 at
audience
least.
goes nuts, and then you don't hear the next 10
Yeah.
seconds, right? So it's like, and there were some lines that were ruined because
I
there
missed
was
some lines
people
after
were.
that.
People
I mean, in a good way. In a good
cheering,
way.
yeah.
Screaming. Like I have not screamed or cheered at a movie like that since like Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And looking back
And that
now,
was-
I'm like a little embarrassed that I did scream
I'm not.
for that. But okay, so in this, I can't believe how many moments there are like that.
It's like just when you think like, oh my God, and
Right.
then there was another one. It's
It
like, holy-
topped itself. It topped itself.
It
Constantly.
kept topping
like,
itself.
Like Ant-Man or Giant Man
Yeah.
punching one of Thanos' ships. He just punches it.
Stepping on guys
Stepping
like they were
on- Oh
ants.
my God, it was great.
Captain Marvel coming in at that last moment when you're thinking everybody is completely out.
Yes, yeah, like just
And,
sort of.
and it's like,
yeah.
what's that fireball? And then I mean, all the girls that were sitting next to me knew.
Yeah.
Right. No, it was. She was used really well
was
in the movie.
used wonderfully.
Captain Marvel was perfect in it.
Absolutely, yeah.
It really was just enough. It's like.
I thought Marcus McFeely did a better job of it, which is weird because
Right.
they shot her stuff for this film before they shot Captain Marvel.
And then Captain Marvel.
And
I
then
know
they shot
it's
Captain Marvel.
disappointing because I feel like the character is better portrayed in Endgame than actually in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So, but look, I think she was not. I feel like the script was weak.
Yeah.
For her for Captain Marvel, and I feel like she was never humanized. She starts as a super being, and then it's sort of the reverse of RoboCop. I mean, it's RoboCop.
Yeah.
If you look at Captain Marvel, what they're trying to do is Frankenstein. It's RoboCop. It's an identity thing. Like who was I, right? And she goes on this journey. But if they had played it, it's sort of this similar to RoboCop, where she had like this family life and then lost it. I feel like you would have empathized with her more.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, yeah. Wait.
I'd buy that for $1.
My friend Mark Atkinson, actor and Ronnie Mund imitator.
Peter Parker coming back.
Oh, Peter Parker.
And getting to use kill mode.
Getting into kill mode, and then
On the suit.
also that hug.
Oh, yeah.
That hug at the end. That's when my girlfriend, who is not
Holding it together.
She's not a huge nerd, but she loves the Marvel movies, oddly, which tells me that the reason the Marvel movies work so well is because there's a humanity to all of the characters, as there is in the comic books, right? Like if you read the old school Marvel comics, it's like, I'm gonna save the world, but I have to finish my homework. I mean, that's Spider-Man, right? Exactly. Where if you're hearing the ambulances going by, it's because we're in the heart of Hollywood. This is live. and we're talking spoilers for Endgame. So
Heart attacks for people coming out of screens.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
But this is what what's interesting is like looking at the movie now and then looking at the old school like Marvel comics that I used to read as a kid. It's like, oh, this is why Marvel comics were fun, because they're talking about the fate of the universe and they also need to eat tacos.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a whole taco thing with the Hulk and Ant-Man, right? That's really funny.
The introduction of the Hulk in this was probably one of the
Oh
most
my
enjoyable.
Yes.
Just, I mean, I know I missed a lot of lines simply because of the audience reaction to the Hulk.
Oh my god, it was so great.
And,
like
and when
because
he's
it's-
taking the selfies. And,
Oh my! That scene,
God.
and it goes on in sort of an uncomfortable, awkward way, which is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that worked so well. I mean, that's Marvel to me.
Yeah.
That's Marvel.
that's very
That is a
Marvel.
Marvel thing because Marvel even made fun of itself. If you look at, I'm sure some people know here, Foom, Friends of Old Marvel. Foom, where my Foom people at? Oh my god, come on, you guys. I think it's because we've been, okay. It's been a long night, but.
Reader fan
You know what?
club.
Right.
I gotta tell you what. One of the things that I'm puzzled about is going forward. You know, we know that there was a time jump, and that some people aged 5 years, and some people
See,
didn't.
that's
age
okay.
5
Okay,
years.
now I want to talk about that because that is one of my quibbles. Is okay. So Peter Parker was what, a sophomore or a junior in high school?
Yeah.
So he was paused. His life paused for 5 years. He was going to graduate 1 year. Now he's graduating. Are they going to deal with that? And then his friend, his friend
Ned,
from the movie
Ned.
Ned. I love him. He's so great. He's the one who says, "We're all gonna die" in Infinity War. I love that guy.
My theory is that he's been emotionally distraught, right? Because his friend's been, dusted. So
Right.
he got held back because he couldn't pass any classes because he's been so sad. And of course, Peter hasn't been around to take any, so that's why everyone's age 5 and they're still in high school.
How about this?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
great cover.
That's what I'm
Wait,
saying.
wait.
Yeah, all of Peter Parker's friends got dusted along with Peter Parker. That's how
Maybe
you
exactly. Wait, Alan Ing. Don't leave,
Managing
don't leave,
editor
Alan.
of Film Threat.
Managing editor of Film Threat, Alan Ing. I want to get your spoilers. And here's what I
Yeah.
always love about talking to Alan is I get two perspectives. I get Alan's perspective and his daughter's perspective. And his daughter is probably the target demographic.
Yeah, she's not seen it yet, so.
She has not seen it.
But she wants the spoilers.
No, don't tell her
I know.
the spoilers.
Hashtag
begging
don't
me
spoil
for
the end.
Don't tell her the spoilers, but what are your thoughts, Alan?
Well, not to get in, the one thing I appreciate most about Marvel, about Disney, about Pixar is their ability to just induce anxiety in the middle of film. There's the point where they're all chasing after the Infinity Stones again, and you know that this journey is not going to be easy, and that this journey is going to be loaded with detours, and you're watching this going, oh my god, no, we're gonna have to fight Thanos all over again. He's coming back, and it's just like, oh my god, just end this movie now. But that's the beauty of this. Their storytelling is they're just going in different directions that you're just not expecting.
I mean, there were a few things that obviously, if you think about it too hard, doesn't make sense. One being the Spider-Man Spider-Man being back in high school and his friends not aging.
No, his friends got dusted. That's what I'm saying.
Or they got dusted.
I think so.
But yeah,
that's the only way they can explain it.
Can we coin that? Got dusted?
Got dusted. Yeah.
But there was one dumb kid who didn't get dusted, but didn't progress well in school.
There you go.
I think that's Flash Thompson, by the way.
But yeah, so I mean, you have scenarios like that, but you also have like for me, the Nebula thing was a little confusing about why her wires got crossed and why her past self was able to see.
They use the same Wi-Fi.
What's happening?
Using the same Wi-Fi.
What's happening in the future? Like that was a little weird. Again, things that you could look past for the sake of Marvel, but so that was a little weird. But what we did get to see was a possible female Avengers movie.
We saw the Femme Force.
We saw the Femme Force, which was pretty fucking. Pretty phenomenal.
Women Unite.
Doesn't count.
Flirking.
There's an amazing scene with Captain Marvel, Iron Woman, the Wasp,
Janet Van Dyne.
Oh, it's
Black Panther's Gamora, Black Panther's Warrior Woman. Oh, I forget her name, unfortunately.
Probably couldn't get the right.
But yeah, no, there were a lot of cool things that we got to get a glimpse of that could be potential future Marvel movies.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite part was when all the yellow and brown characters came out. They defeated Thanos.
Can I just add one thing?
Of course.
I mean, let's talk about Gamora for a second. Is it me or is she like a...
No, yeah.
Keep going.
No,
come on.
Keep going. Is it me or is she like a fine line? The older she gets, the better she looks, and she's also green.
That's fair.
Well, what is that? That's something I'm confused about too, because at the end was so Tony dusts everyone Thanos related, right?
Yeah.
Or Thanos adjacent. At the end, at the funeral, the Guardians are Gamora-less still.
I noticed that as well. Yeah.
So did he wipe her out as well? Do you have some insight on this?
Yeah.
She took off right after the battle. Like that's what happened because they have the searching thing. And
What year is the funeral?
When did she take off?
But she's 2014 Gamora, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Right after the battle, she just left.
I didn't see
You saw that, or
No, it's implied.
So
Because when they're on the Milano, they have like the map with the coordinates, and those are the places they're going to go to look for her.
But from my understanding was that the time travel does not work like Back to the Future, in that if you go to the past and like,
what's the Soul Stone?
is she now alive?
No, but wait.
Yes,
I feel like it's
a
be,
different version of her.
Right, it's Guardians 3: The Search for Gamora.
Right.
Oh, because she left during the present day, so she's at.
There it is.
Got it. Got you. Yeah.
No, the thing is, time travel is always a wonky thing when it comes to movies, and
It's all theoretical.
It's all theoretical. They did probably the best they could with time travel.
Yeah, a lot of references to time travel movies.
Yeah, exactly.
They reference Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh.
Yeah, that was great.
Speaking of that, the sequence where they did reference all the time travel movies, I wanted to know, because there was great laughs during that moment, but can anyone confirm that we hear Days of Future Past in there? I heard X-Men.
No, I didn't.
I want to see this movie
I
again.
didn't hear that.
They were rattling off all the movies. I laughed at Time Cop. Time Cop was great.
Yeah, Time
And
Cop.
Back to the Future. And then I could have sworn I heard Days of Future Past or X-Men. But it was subtle, but it was people were laughing at that point. So if anyone knows, please type below.
I'm almost sure that didn't happen because the Fox deal was probably still up in the air at that point.
yeah.
So
Right.
remember, this was filmed a while back.
And it's funny that these were filmed back to back. That's what we just saw. I'm like, really? This was filmed
Yeah.
back to back? Everyone kept their mouth shut for a while.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and that's really going to be the hardest part about anyone who hasn't seen this movie is just avoiding, assholes like us, basically. I'm going to spoil it for you right now.
We gave plenty of spoiler warnings.
We did,
I mean,
we
if
did.
they
We
jumped
did
into
give
this, it's their fault.
That's very true.
If you run into me on the street, though, you won't have to push that hard. I will absolutely tell you whatever you want to know.
I'm the same way. Some people like spoilers. Sometimes I like spoilers. But for this, I was like, I don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was, another, for me, moment that just kind of will always stand out and be in my head probably for the rest of the month. Was seeing Captain America hold Mjolnir, which was a story.
Oh my God!
That was literally the best scene in the film, hands down.
He hold it.
He rocked it. Yes.
Both. He had both Stormbreaker and Mjolnir. I was like, that was a great applause moment. 'Cause I'm like,
and then when Thor was like, "Oh no, you take the small one, I'll take the large," they like switched.
Yeah.
And another thing about that scene, again, this goes back to if you follow these films, that was a payoff to the
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron, because he did move it slightly because he's deemed worthy then. But at the moment of this battle, he was able to pick it up. This wasn't a Vision thing. Vision was a synthetic android.
No Vision.
I
Go
want
back.
to say something
Zero.
about the Age of Ultron.
Okay.
When he moves it, I always read that as he knew he could lift it, but he didn't want to embarrass Thor because he's just that nice of a guy. And so that
Actually,
was like,
you know what?
he
That's
saw,
kind of fair.
he saw he was moving it, and he thought, no, I'm not going to show him.
Yeah.
No, but that was just a moment for any comic book fan, a payoff moment, because it's something we always wanted to see. It might have happened in the books, I'm not sure, but
It's definitely happened in comics before.
yeah, it was just it was just a payoff of that.
Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where was Beta Ray Bill?
He
1
kind
out of 10.
showed up in Thor Ragnarok a little bit.
He did.
Yeah.
He's like a
His face was in a statue.
On the hall, on the statue.
The first hour, I thought this movie was going to be like somber and serious, with the exception of the first couple of minutes. The first hour was probably just as funny as Thor 3. I guess. Would you agree?
Oh, I absolutely agree. I would absolutely agree to that. And again, we already touched on it, but the scenes with the Hulk are amazing.
I would have loved to see if this movie was just all about them dealing with the loss and the destination, and no action scenes whatsoever. And at the end, they're just like, well, I guess we're just gonna have to move on. Credits.
and the theater would have burned.
Yeah.
There would have been rioting in the streets, pandemonium.
Bring me Feige.
They would have dragged him out of his house, tarred and feathered him.
What's everyone's theory on Stan Lee's cameo?
Oh
yeah, they did the first of all, they did the de-aging on him, which was cool because it was in the 70s.
Yeah, and he looked like Stanley from the 70s.
He looked like Stanley from the 70s. It was awesome. Stanley just as a human to have created so many aspects of this.
Remember the bumper sticker?
Bumper sticker.
The bumper sticker?
Bumper sticker was enough said.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, here comes
really?
the Stan Lee cameo. And it was incredible. So
I still think the best Stan Lee cameo is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
what?
You
Cartoon
lost the
Spider-Man
Captain
2.
Marvel one though.
Yeah, the Captain Marvel one was good, but the
Right,
Spider-
he's reading
you were-
Mallrats
he
2
was in the-
script. That was awesome. Or the Mallrats script.
See, I still got to say, for me, my favorite Stanley cameo has to be Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when he's the Watcher.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That,
too, when he's talking.
Yeah.
Well, they said
Top
he's
right
not
off.
a watcher.
Hey.
He's just hanging out with the Watchers.
he's just hanging out with the Watcher.
Yes, yeah.
But it makes sense.
I had heard that they
Count the
filmed
Watcher
a lot of
every
those cameos like months or years in advance because they knew he was kind of alien.
And our good friend Justin Sewell is here from theonering.net. Justin has helped out so much with so many film threat related projects. Hung out with Justin at Sundance, and so we're talking spoilers now. We can talk about anything, and it's hard to talk about this movie without talking about spoilers. So we want to hear your thoughts.
I don't have a lot of thoughts.
What?
It exhausted me too much. My brain is dried up of emotion right now.
But you definitely that's the thing that I think that everyone in all of our conversations about talking about the film it really sort of hit everybody because it's been like a decade-long journey.
I think, look, coming out of this movie, I don't have as much emotion as I had out of Return of the King, but
because you're a Lord of the Rings Tolkien guy.
Also, this didn't make me cry like Return of the King, but this has set a high bar for JJ to end the Skywalker saga with.
Okay, so no, that's the thing. I kind of feel like I wish the people that were running Marvel were running Star Wars.
I don't agree. They're different. They're different things, right?
Right, true.
Marvel had to close out 20 movies of stories, and it was a nice punctuation.
How well do you think they did?
They stuck the landing.
I think everyone here agrees. Everyone stuck the landing. Yeah. I mean, that's sort of the consensus is they really did it, and it's also it's great to see a blockbuster film series, a major studio franchise, actually, satisfy on that level.
As weird as it would be, this is the time that Kevin Feige should just retire.
I agree with that. I wish Tom Brady would retire. Wait!
Hey, I'm from Rhode Island.
All right, but look, I wish Tom Brady, because it's okay, I won the Super Bowl, retire. Yeah. But no, I want to come back and I want 9 more rings, whatever.
Look, he's the best in the business at this. Every single movie has only one producer credit, Kevin Feige.
Right.
Every single one. Only one producer. That's him. And this is the biggest punctuation mark to that 20-film legacy. And this movie sets up a new generation of heroes. There's certain shots that are just like, I'm looking at the next 10 years in this shot. And in this setup, this is the next 10 years of television, of film. So he's done a great job. I'd like to see him do more because he's that talented. But if you're looking for, a punctuation to go out on and say, I'm the best, I'm the king, I'm at the top, it's a Tom Brady thing. Like, go out. I got 20 rings. Let's go.
Well, Tom Brady's still playing football. He's not retired yet. I wish he would. But the analogy is apropos, so to speak.
We go back to Lord of the Rings, right?
Right.
How many people say Peter Jackson should have left it at all the Oscars, setting all the records for all the Oscars for Return of the King? In fact, Peter Jackson actually said, let someone else take The Hobbit. Like, he didn't really want to do it.
Well, Guillermo was going to do it, right? Guillermo del Toro.
Right. So Peter Jackson had the right perspective of like, I'm going out on top. So Kevin Feige, is it time?
It is time. You know what? Let's go on a time heist and steal all the scripts to the Hobbit movies, so that Peter Jackson never made them. I feel like that's what we could do.
It'd be like Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, like
you ever hear that stand about?
Yeah, of course. Yes,
back in time
about
and
the
kills
prequels.
George Lucas. Yeah.
Yes, about the prequels. Yes, that's a great Patton Oswalt bit. But the Hobbit movies sort of lessen. I mean, to me, the Lord of the Rings films are like perfect movies in the sense that we don't argue about them.
No.
We don't debate those movies because, like, they were awesome, and so what's to talk about? But the Hobbit films, they're flawed.
That's what I'm saying. Phase 4, like, it's a big risk. Like, this went out and buttoned up all the storylines. Look, I was going into this movie terrified that it would suffer from Return of the King ending syndrome. 6 flashes of white, flashes of black, 6 endings. Everyone's like, it's not over yet. But this one, Avengers just kind of buttons it all up, nice and neat. And the one thing, everyone's got their fanboy criticism. The one thing I think they could have done better is give some stunt casting to the final old character in the movie. And, like, what if it was Clint Eastwood sitting on that bench?
I felt like it almost looked like him a little bit too.
They definitely went like I like old Cap, like, but also here's the thing is because people are gonna complain like, no, there's all this new generation. It's like, forget those people. You can do more adventures with these characters, not the same actors because you can't afford them, right? You can't have Robert Downey Jr. play Tony Stark, but there are multiverses. There are time adventures. And Captain America is no longer a virgin. I feel like now...
that could be a movie in itself.
That could be a movie unto itself. Like...
Captain America Pie.
Right. Captain America. But
the MC XXX.
But they're like these characters... Those characters will exist because they are franchises. They are also... They want to sell... they want to sell sippy cups and T-shirts at Disneyland. You know what I mean? Like those characters aren't going away. There will be, I promise you, in our lifetime, there will be other people playing Captain America, the Hulk.
Oh, totally.
Thor, yeah, right?
And this movie does a better job than Days of Future Past.
Oh, for sure. But we're gonna see a new generation. I do love the scene just because I'm a fan of Anthony Mackie as an actor, and also I grew up reading Captain America and the Falcon. It was like my favorite comic in the early '70s, old school version. We're talking about the Falcon outfit that's like orange and white and kind of whatever. So I love that comic as a kid, and so like seeing that scene, like that's the scene I got like super choked up.
Look. I've never read the comics. I've only seen the movies. That's my only touch point with Marvel. And I understood everything in this movie.
Yeah. That's good.
And there were no like, oh, that must be fan service. I don't get it. No, I understood everything going on. I applauded at the same time. All the hardcore fans and comic book nerds like you applauded. So they did it right, and it couldn't have been better.
Well, I feel like Marvel at this point is sort of, IDGAF. They just don't. It's like whatever. Like it doesn't matter. Like the whole thing with like Cap, using Mjolnir was just. I mean, it was epic. It was amazing. Yeah. What, William Howell?
I'm listening.
I want to know. I want to hear what you have to say. I've spoken enough. Others, please join the spoiler.
There was a lot of like Easter eggs.
Megan, yeah. What were the Easter eggs, Megan?
Well, in the funeral scene, when they were panning up to the cottage, you can see different characters from different movies, like the tall kid, that's from Iron Man 3.
Oh, that's the kid from Iron Man 3. I was like, who is that kid?
Yeah, because when you really look at his face, you can see him. And then you can kind of see and then you can kind of see the different kind of blobs. And then there's also different Easter eggs. There's little hints about Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Right. Which I'm very interested to see where James, to sort of segue into that.
Yeah.
What we know now after Endgame, what aspect did James Gunn write? Did you finish it? Is he going to do it?
No. 100%, because James Gunn was involved in plotting out, Phase 3.
Okay.
He was also involved in plotting Phase 4 and beyond. Okay. So he knew what was going to happen. So apparently the Phase 3, yes, Anthony Ray Bench joined on this.
I just wanted to say that's another thing I got right and you got wrong. You were under the impression that Gamora wasn't going to come back, and I said she was. She did. Mic drop.
Yes.
I was surprised.
Literally everything that Anthony predicted came true. So
he aggressively wants credit for these.
Well, he knows his stuff.
Did anyone feel that Gamora in the past sort of?
Did Anthony predict that Captain America would have the ass?
Did he have the glute?
Oh my God.
The glutes of America.
Glutes of America, yes.
I didn't see that one coming.
Maximus.
Anthony did predict that Captain America would make out with his own daughter.
Oh man.
Where'd you get that one, Alan?
I don't know.
Sharon Carter.
I don't know.
That's nice.
That's neat.
But you know what? Okay, we can continue to talk spoilers, but I think it's time.
Well, we
It's
should talk about
time?
the big spoiler, no?
What's the big spoiler?
Of who died. Is that too big to talk about?
Did anybody talk about Black Widow?
Yeah.
Technically,
No.
My wife died. No one's talking about it.
Here's the characters who died.
Okay.
There ain't no Vision. Vision's gone.
Nah. R.I.P.
Vision's
he might
gone.
still be IE.
He's
an Infinity
he's
He
with
could technically come back because they didn't destroy the Soul Stones. They put it back, so in theory they could bring him back.
They could bring him back, and there
And
also
Shuri
was that show
could've-
WandaVision.
And
Because
Shuri
they-
could have extracted enough
Yeah.
data from the Mind Stone
Right.
at the time. We don't know what happened with that aspect before
Right.
the attack on Wakanda. So just throw that out.
But there are characters that are no longer with us, and
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
Yes.
One thing I will point out, which was very interesting. The last time, when you see the credits for the movie at the very end, and there is no end credit scene. It's the first Marvel movie with no end credit scene.
Should have been
Although
Stan Lee
everyone,
montage.
it should have been a Stanley montage. Although that was done so well in Captain Marvel. But they.
Wasn't it credit? Yeah, right.
At the very end, you see all the characters are given their due, and then what's really interesting is certain characters have their signatures. And the last time that we saw that, so the original Avengers, right? Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, they all sign it because none of those actors are coming back. And I know this because the last time that someone signed a movie like that, what movie was it? Star Trek 6. It was Star Trek 6. that they used the same device, which is the signatures are kind of animated. So in Star Trek 6, when that happened, it was just like, oh, they will never play those roles again. And of course, Shatner came back because he was in Generations. And so did Nimoy, of course, in Star Trek by J.J. Abrams. But the actors who did the signatures, they are not coming back now. I predict that they will. That there'll be like a button thing, or it's like, Chris Evans, could you come out and just like do like a quick thing? I know we signed you for 7 movies and you did all that. Like I kind of feel like some of those actors will come back in some way.
Walk on cameo,
right?
Flashback. Yeah.
Walk on cameo, flashback, multiverse. So much can happen.
Isn't there a Black Widow movie coming though?
Yeah, there is.
I think she's dead.
That might be.
It'll probably be like a flashback type thing.
Also, there are multiple Black Widows.
Yes. And then there is a
Vision.
Iron Man.
There's a Scarlet Witch and Vision movie, TV series coming out.
It's called WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Which is basically
Multiple
like a
Becky's
romantic
from
comedy
Roseanne.
with a girl having sex with a robot. So let's move on.
One last thing. Can I say how
Please.
Iron Man dies? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fans of Film Threat, Iron Man, aka Tony Stark, dies of gonorrhea.
Oh.
Bringing it down, Mark Atkinson. Yes,
Shit,
not
though,
how
you
he
didn't
dies.
talk about his death.
That's not how he dies. And,
How did you guys
and,
feel
and
about it?
another shout out to Alan Eames' daughter, who doesn't know what gonorrhea is. So, thank God. Okay. So, all right, let's get to our final. Let's go get on to our next phase, our final phase of this podcast. We are going to rank all of the Marvel movies, and also, okay, this is real. We are ranking all of the Marvel movies. Let's bring this out. Let's hang it up here. Hang it up. We're gonna hang it up here.
Here, grab him.
Just
I
like.
gotta get this.
Okay, we're setting up now. We are going to rank all 22 Marvel movies, and Alan's daughter created this graphic. I was hoping for a really cool computer graphic, you know, the kinds that, you know, Bobby Schwartz does. I love those. But here's what we got. And
You get what you get.
You get what you get. Alan's daughter did an amazing job. Let's be honest. She did a great job. We actually even have little like things that represent each movie. We're going to rank all 22 Marvel movies.
Is that
I don't know.
Downey?
I feel like the microphone's up for grabs, folks. Let's start. Let's actually
Should we
just
go backwards?
Let's actually start at the bottom. What is the worst Marvel movie ever made?
Dark World.
No way.
Dark
What?
World?
Is it Iron Man 3?
Wait.
I'm gonna go Dark
It's
World.
not Captain Marvel?
I was gonna say Iron Man 2.
Iron Man. Wait.
I'm gonna go either Iron Man 3 or Dark World.
Whiplash.
Let's say Iron Man 3.
Okay, like
let that
all
go.
of those could be like in that 17 to 22.
Let's say Iron Man 3 is the worst. Let's say Iron Man 3 is the worst.
Iron Man 3 is way worse than Thor 2 and Iron Man 2. 1,000,000%. Right?
Okay,
It's close, but yeah, it's close.
all right.
All right. Well,
Let's
we
not
gotta
have
pick
the mic here. Okay, so we need
All right,
someone.
so-
We need someone to narrate.
that's
We need someone to narrate.
Isn't that cute?
Okay, so what are we saying? We're saying Dark World.
No, Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 is the
Number
is
22.
the worst Marvel movie ever made.
Well,
What's in the top?
Let's just say it's number
top-
22.
What's number? Well, number
Because even
22.
the worst is.
Well, that's Iron Man 3.
Yeah, but I mean, worst implies that it really sucks. I mean,
We gotta pick something.
None of these really.
Well, you gotta. Okay,
You
what's
just have
the
to
We gotta
win
pick
out.
something.
It's the worst of the
Dark
best.
World.
Dark
Dark
World
World.
is number 21.
Wait.
Dark World.
No, 21.
Can I throw something out there?
No.
And
Please.
You guys have a civil war with me about it? I think Age of Ultron is absolutely worse.
I
than-
disagree completely.
I don't like Age of Ultron, but I don't think it's worse than
It's
Dark
not
World.
Yeah.
What would? Okay, let me just because
I would put
I'm stepping up on
Age of
my
Ultron
soapbox.
at most at number 19.
out of 20,
What's 20?
it's
20 would be Iron Man 2.
okay. So we're not going. Okay.
So Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 for 20.
Wait. Second worst is Iron Man 2.
Yes, third worst.
Thor the Third worst is the.
Maybe Age of Ultron. I still say it's better than what you're saying. But whatever.
Okay.
All right. Hey,
Can
18.
can these be re-applicated later?
Okay.
All right, 18.
No, then we're locked in. So,
So what do we got next?
Captain Marvel. We got.
I think that's right.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, actually.
Listen, Chris, I just want you to know they overpowered me, and I feel like
It wasn't hard.
I feel like Thor 2 was absolutely the superior to Captain Marvel, but listen, they overpowered me.
All right.
That's actually really
17.
All right, we have the Thors, we have Spider-Man, we have Hulk, we have.
Thor 3 is going to be around here.
Okay.
Yeah, we have Thor 3.
Maybe Thor 1?
Or Ragnarok? No,
Ragnarok.
I'm gonna
Thor 1.
No. Let's stick with the bottom
Thor 1
12.
might be around.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
actually,
Hulk.
Thor, he's right. Thor 1 would be 17.
What about Hulk?
You like
though?
Hulk better
I
than
do. The Incredible Hulk was great.
Hulk's good.
we got some Thor haters.
The Incredible Hulk was amazing.
Look, this
Okay,
is,
wait,
this
no,
is
no,
the
no,
part of
hold
the
on.
board where the movies aren't bad, even though
Yeah.
they're far down. Like, they're still really good.
Where's some
What about
Thor's
First
best?
Avenger though?
First Avenger's great.
It's actually pretty good.
Wait.
Okay, we have Ant-Man the Wasp.
Top 10.
No.
What time? We're in the worst timeline. If you guys think that both Thor movies are worse than both Ant-Man movies, or
Oh,
both.
Ant-Man's good, dude.
Ant-Man
How dare you,
2.
sir?
No,
Yeah.
wait. Let's just
Ant-Man
be
2.
clear. These
Ant-Man
are all
and the
good.
I saw
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
forgot.
These are all good. Let's be clear,
I have a
right?
receipt to prove it.
These are the worst of the best.
I'm gonna say I say
Or
Thor.
the best of
I
the
say
worst.
Thor 1 and then Ant-Man and Wasp.
You guys are crazy. I got.
You thought Thor 1 was better?
Yeah.
All right, fair. That's fair.
Alright.
So Ant-Man and Wasp.
Ant-Man the Wasp.
Okay.
It's close.
Just close.
And then Thor 1.
And then Thor 1.
Thor 1.
All right, we're getting somewhere now.
We gotta move this.
And then after Thor 1, I would probably put
Wow, there are way more movies.
Captain America, First Avenger.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta grab tape. So.
And then after that, I would put Guardians
Ant-
of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Go in.
What about first Ant-Man?
Oh, first Ant-Man. I thought we already did that.
What? I thought they were great. You guys
on,
are
what is
blowing
this?
my
They
mind
are
right now.
good.
You guys
That's
are
the
blowing
point.
my
First
mind.
We have a
Avenger?
lot of movies to go through.
First Avenger?
Yes.
Avenger, yeah.
Yes.
And then Ant-Man.
And then Ant-Man.
Surprised that ranks so.
And then I would say Guardians Volume 2 or Doctor Strange.
I say Doctor Strange, but we can go.
So Ant-Man?
I would
Yes.
absolutely say Guardians 2.
Okay, Guardians 2, then Doctor Strange.
I would have put Guardians 2 below the first Captain America, but that is just.
I love Guardians 2, though.
My tape is just.
But see, the way I felt at the end of this movie is entirely because of plot threads that Captain America: The First Avenger set up. The final dance he's getting with Peggy, all the way through to even knowing that bunker the way he did. Like he's from Jersey, they had to go back there. That was one of the like.
So what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Well, this is
What do we
Avengers
say
2,
here?
right?
No, that's,
We're not.
Oh, Guardians.
That's
The first one?
Avenger.
Oh, wow.
We're ranking this
That's
on-
Gamora.
as a movie by
Gamora.
itself.
So where's the
Listen.
Hulk?
Where does it stand?
Listen,
I thought that was it.
I get it.
That's Gamora.
It's a beautiful Hulk.
So,
She-Hulk.
What's next? I'm sorry.
It's She-Hulk.
Remember She-Hulk?
So what would be next? Doctor Strange.
Doctor
Strange.
Strange, yeah.
Ironically, one of Stan Lee's last creations at Marvel.
Doctor Strange.
No, well, She-Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now
So.
here's where we're.
Okay, so we got Ragnarok, we got Endgame, we got Infinity War, we got Avengers.
Maybe first Avengers. I mean, yeah,
First Avengers. Yep.
What? Whoa.
We have Spider-Man, we have Hulk,
Spider-Man.
we
Put
have
Spider-Man. Spider-Man is
Spider-Man.
absolutely
Homecoming?
11.
Yes.
Homecoming should
Homecoming's
be.
way better than Avengers.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wait. No,
So
no,
Avengers?
that's not what I'm
We're
saying.
saying Avengers goes number 11.
I'm saying
Yeah.
Homecoming goes number 11.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Over Avengers?
No.
Avengers is a better movie.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
that's fair.
I would have put
Plus,
Homecoming right
that
where
puts
you
us
guys have
squarely in
Thor
the
1.
top 10. So,
Yeah, that's so. Okay, so we'll go Homecoming.
Homecoming at 11?
Yeah. Lucky number 11.
Alright, so then Avengers.
Then Avengers.
Wait, did we ever put Iron Man 2 up there?
I will say with Homecoming,
yes.
it
Yeah, Iron
really
Man 2 is right.
satisfied the palate
That's
and
the
just
first
cleansed that
First Avengers.
All right.
Spider-Man 3,
So this is
that
the
that
second
that
one.
goth
Number one.
nonsense. Let's be honest,
First Avengers.
the crowbar, the more villains,
The first
Yeah,
Avengers movie.
absolutely.
and we're
Okay,
rebooting
so
it.
Why-
Winter
why
Soldier,
is this the
Civil
third
War,
time, but it works.
Ragnarok,
Much more economic. because
Infinity
we're trying
War,
to-
Civil War.
Winter Soldier, Endgame,
Civil War.
Okay.
No, whoa, hold on.
Over Hulk?
Oh wait, over
Oh,
Hulk.
no, Hulk's way.
Hulk
Hulk's
can
gotta
go
be
on that.
here.
I would have put Hulk on the other 12.
On 11?
I would have put.
I'd swap. I'd take Homecoming, put it. Yeah,
Actually, yeah, switch Avengers.
Switch Avengers
Yeah.
to 9, put
I'm okay
Homecoming
with
to 10, and Hulk to 11.
I know.
How did Homecoming move up?
Because
Crazy
Hulk.
Town.
Because of Hulk.
Okay.
We're not in
All right,
Spoiler
Civil
Town
War?
anymore. We're in Crazy Town.
Civil War?
Out of those, Civil
Winter
War.
Soldiers, Ragnarok, Winter Soldier.
Because I liked
Ragnarok is
Which one
absolutely.
is Oh, Guardians 1.
Yeah, Guardians 1.
Guardians
Okay,
1.
yeah.
Okay.
Ragnarok's in the top 5.
Well-
and Guardians 1 is in the top 5.
I agree with
Civil
him.
War.
I agree.
Civil Wars.
You guys
So
are
which one?
both
And
great.
Civil War is
Wait,
also
what
in the
is-
top,
what is this?
top
That's
5.
Political
No, that's,
intrigue was a home run.
Infinity.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so surprised he
Nah,
was in the movie.
Yes.
It's got to be
Robert Redford came out of retirement.
Civil War.
Unbelievable.
Also,
Endgame.
No, how
wasn't
first
the
Iron Man
3D really good?
Iron Man.
Okay, Iron
3 was really good, and the
Yeah,
rendering,
it was really
the
good.
de-aging was amazing.
The de-aging
on Stark,
was great.
on
The
him.
first We have
The
de-aging
one
on
that
the
started.
YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
started
Sorry,
five.
don't.
Yeah, no, I wish.
Okay, here we go.
Maybe as a movie, maybe not.
Okay. All right, Civil War, Ragnarok, Endgame,
We have-
Winter Soldier,
Okay.
First Guardians.
First Guardians.
Where's Black Panther?
Where's Black Panther?
Oh shit, yeah. See, that's.
Well, we're saving that for number one.
Oh, wait, maybe
somewhere here.
Maybe somewhere here.
I have.
No, I have.
options.
I
There it
have
is.
one.
It's double.
Oh, is it stuck? Yes. Okay. Where's it? Oh, there it is.
right?
There
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
right there.
Yeah, Black Panther.
Can we show?
Yeah, there you go.
I just want to.
Okay,
All right, so where are we
Camera
going
to get
here? Civil War. Oh, Guardians. Guardians 1.
Yeah.
All right, we're almost to the top 5.
Great
We're in the
film.
end game now.
B and
Yeah,
C
we put
level
Endgame
characters
here,
in
or
the
are we gonna-
comics.
What's the purple one?
And the
again?
iteration that
Infinity
was
War.
seen in the film is not the original lineup of Guardians, and it completely worked and just and a completely new audience.
Which one is
Amazing.
that?
I'm glad that took
That's
off.
Civil War.
Okay,
one's
that's
this
Winter
Endgame.
Soldier. Okay.
So do we put Endgame
Black
as
Panther,
6?
maybe?
Or
Black Panther.
Black Panther number 6?
Black Panther.
Yeah.
So, Endgame better than Black Panther.
All right, here we go. Top 5.
Wait, Ragnarok's better than it.
This is where the viewership comes in.
Okay, I think
You just sit back and relax, Bobby.
I was thinking Ragnarok.
Yeah, Ragnarok next.
How dare you?
Oh, I'm running away. Oh, no.
Yeah, there's
Because Winter Soldier's easy number 3.
Yeah,
Is
or
it
higher.
easy?
Well,
Or
I
higher.
think it's between Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Winter Soldier all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
We think
Yeah.
Winter
no,
Soldier's
I-
number 1. Well, all right. Well, let's
Well, no. We don't know what number 1 is.
Yeah.
You guys don't know.
All right, Civil War, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame.
Civil War.
Civil War.
Civil War. Oh,
Whoa.
Big
to
Winter Soldier crowd, huh?
Winter Soldier's
Oh, dude, that movie
It is
is
a great
amazing.
movie.
all right.
Right.
Endgame, Civil War, or Infinity War.
Infinity War is 3.
Infinity War, yeah, it's
Yeah.
3. Wow, this is.
You know what number 1 is?
Well, I don't know.
No
Let's see.
spoilers.
Endgame or Winter Soldier.
I mean, it has to be Winter Soldier because Endgame is just ridiculous, dude. Endgame wins all. I
It's
think.
fresh in our
Are we doing
minds.
it? I know.
I like.
I
Infinity
think
War
I think
better,
it'll hold
but-
up.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
I believe.
I'll allow it. I'll allow
all
it.
right, Winter Soldier is number 2,
Oh.
I mean, it's up to you guys.
All right.
Civil War number 2.
and then
I
that
think,
leaves.
I think it's true.
Wait.
How about that cameo
know that
by Robert
leaves-
Redford? That was awesome.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that was
god.
You see that?
Spoiler alert.
Nope.
Yeah, or the Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra. That was
That
the
was
best.
so
good.
great.
Okay.
That was the best.
By the way, when Loki poured it out, was there a plot point there that I missed something?
No.
Because Captain America said he had everything when he nodded. To,
Loki's safe.
because he poured it out.
Although he didn't have the
In that
time.
dimension.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right, because they went backwards.
All right, here we go.
Until the
Number
Swinton already
one.
said that timeline would be erased, so.
Number one film on the Endgame scoreboard is Endgame.
I do not agree with this at all. No.
This is
Okay, so what would you change?
The first, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but the first Avengers film, the Joss Whedon one, would be my top one just because I have a lot of emotions attached to seeing those characters finally come together.
At least
on
in the
screen.
top 5.
I think it should be top 5.
I think that Infinity War would be 2, Endgame would be 3, and yeah, that's what I would go with it.
But I think
Ragnarok's
as a
still in
film,
top 5.
Oh yeah.
I think as
Ragnarok's
a film
masterpiece.
itself, Winter Soldier carries it all the way.
Yeah, I love Winter Soldier.
I do too, but just
I mean, honestly, I think Winter Soldier broke the superhero narrative at this point.
yeah.
Winter Soldier is the reason Endgame was able to be so fucking good, freaking good. Because
Flirkin'.
Because they, the Russos took the gravitas that we felt with the first Avengers, but actually manifested the tone, I think, cinematically a little bit. They realized everything that the comic books were making us feel, I think, in a way that the Marvel movies up to that point did.
Or can I say we are missing a character getting some face on
The Flirkin.
Because he's dead.
My favorite
The Flirkin
part
lifespan is only 10
it's
years.
like Mr. and Mrs. Hulk right here. Adorable.
Also,
Hey, why can't do that?
Also, let's give that for Alan's daughter.
Yes. For those of you keeping track at home, not on the YouTube channel, should we count down?
Yeah, let's count it
Let's
down.
count it down.
Count it down.
Iron Man 3.
And let's applaud for how much you agree with where it is on the
I need Alan to translate.
This one will be a roaring.
Iron Man 3, number 1.
Dark World.
And then,
Or
and
number
at
22.
Is Iron Man 3, you said?
Dark World at 21.
Dark World at 21.
This is
Iron Man
that's
3.
the most blasphemous.
Iron Man 3 at or
Iron
Age
Man
of Ultron.
2,
yeah.
You know, give Alan the.
Yeah, give it.
Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. I know. He's long. All right, so we're going to go Age of Ultron at 19, Captain Marvel at 18, Ant-Man and the Wasp, the first Thor, then the first Avenger, Ant-Man, Guardians Volume 2.
No, it's the second Avenger.
No, that's
First Avenger.
That's
I
First
know
Avenger.
Okay, Guardians
Knows his
Volume
daughter's
2,
drawings.
Doctor Strange, the Hulk, the one we don't talk about, Spider-Man Homecoming.
At number
First
10,
Avengers,
yeah.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming, number 10. Number 9, First Avengers. The First Avengers movie. 8 is Iron Man. 7 is Guardians of the Galaxy. 6 is Black Panther. 5 is Thor Ragnarok. 4 is Captain Marvel Civil War. Then we have Infinity War, Winter Soldier.
Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, Captain America Civil War. Avengers. I'm sorry, Infinity War, Winter Soldier, and then Endgame. Let's give it up!
Yeah! We made it.
So
Excelsior.
we have completely passed by Megan on the spoilers. We need the female perspective. Please get over here, Megan, Kathleen, my girlfriend.
Woo!
So first of all, what did you think of the movie? Really?
As you know,
Camera's that way.
Oh.
hello.
Hi, camera.
As
We're all
being a huge
tangled.
Captain Marvel fan who has a lot of comics, I was quite disappointed in that movie. So to see her in a better light was much more satisfying. I loved Infinity War. I'm kind of sad it's not in the top 2. Because I
agree.
would say Infinity War is actually better than Endgame.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
But yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I loved Infinity War so much is that they brought so many side characters, a lot of the female characters, and they put them in a stronger light. In this one, I don't cry at movies a lot, but one scene during the big battle when all the girls were protecting Peter Parker, I started bawling, and that never happens.
Yeah, she totally did.
I never cry, and that just made me so happy, just seeing like all these women like together and fighting, especially with like Pepper Potts, who's been there since like the beginning. I don't know, wasn't expecting to cry. Tony Stark didn't make me cry, the ending didn't make me cry, but just watching badass women kill people, that made me cry.
So How did you feel about the Black Widow scene?
I thought it was okay. Once they said they were going there, you could tell something like that was going to happen. So I kind of predicted someone was going to die, and I kind of figured she would be the one that died because she doesn't really have anything to go home to. She doesn't have family. Martin made a big deal about he has family. That's why he, went crazy.
Are there any female characters that you want to see in Phase 4?
I think She-Hulk would be fun.
She-Hulk would be awesome.
I think She-Hulk would be a lot of fun. I think that they really need to, I hope in the future that the Women of Wakanda really get fleshed out more, because quite frankly the Women of Wakanda owned Black Panther. T'Challa, all he did was just get his ass kicked. That's true. I mean, he got his ass kicked every time, and who saved him? His mother, his sister, or his girlfriend. Like, they were the ones that constantly come in and picking up the mess.
Well, honestly, I think that scene that you got tripped up on is definitely setting up for an all-female Avengers
like Valkyrie
movie.
with her on the Pegasus, that was awesome. Was not expecting that, which made me think like, where should get that?
Well, anything else you want to?
No, I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring back Chris Gore. Hi, Chris.
The one kidney man.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom. I like where this was not how I expected things to turn out, but I'm happy that it turned out this way. Endgame being number one, I would personally put Infinity War at number one, because Infinity War is sort of the Empire Strikes Back of Marvel movies, and Endgame is the Return of the Jedi, but with no Ewoks.
Yeah.
But I like the way things turned out. I want to thank everybody here watching on the live stream, or who watched this video. I want to thank all the 20 of us who got to see this movie together.
I want to thank you for getting the tickets.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Walter and I were like on Johnny
thank
on
you,
the
Walter.
spot.
Making the money rain, just making it rain.
Trying to get these tickets. No, truthfully, like this last 10 years, Marvel movies, to see it like actually have a satisfying ending, to stick the landing, which we've seen so many franchises not do.
The Matrix comes to mind. Ooh,
Lost.
Too
soon. Too soon.
I could think of so many other
Sopranos.
Dark Knight Rises. I could think of so many franchises that didn't stick the landing. Marvel stick the landing.
Star Wars. Oh wait, we don't know yet.
Star Wars, we don't know. Episode 9, we'll see.
Could be the greatest film ever.
It could be awesome. If the one thing I know about J.J. Abrams is he knows how to end. Can we just repeat that?
Alias, anyone?
Hey, the ending of Felicity was awesome. There was time travel.
Well, let's just say
I'm shaking my head.
We'll see. We'll do this again for episode 9, except we'll have Alan's daughter here.
Yay!
Which means you guys will swear a lot less.
I think we didn't do too
I
bad.
loved her graphics. Oh my god, that is so cute. That is going on the Film Thread Instagram. I want to thank everybody here. Managing editor Alan Ng. My god, my good friend William Howell, Bobby Schwartz, Walter Reyes, Anthony Raybank, Dante James, Mark Atkinson,
Hello.
Anthony's wife.
Whoa.
Quantum realm, you go to the quantum realm, and
Is a moment about to
He
happen?
has a wife. That's why we're not married.
Wait.
He can handle it.
We will have words later on.
Thank you, and that ends our it ends our live stream in the podcast.
We're gonna
Thank you for
disassemble
listening, and we will disassemble.
Film thread.
Film Thread disassemble.